What is going on, full-time family? It is time to start the show. I need to know if my voice is sounding clear today. Yesterday, we were having all sorts of technical difficulties. I think I got it figured out. We will see when we get somebody in the chat. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got to talk about Demetrious Johnson, a.k.a. Mighty Mouse, getting knocked out. Kneed in the face. And I can't say I ain't even mad, because Demetrious Johnson is one of the people that came out and kind of took a shot at Aljamain Sterling when he got kneed in the head. So this is the MMA gods paying Demetrious Johnson his karma. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Ronda Rousey tattooing her wins on her arm. That's interesting. That's very interesting. We're going to talk about that. A little bit of delusion there. We're going to talk about Jorge Masvidal, my motherfucking dog. He's saying he'll fight Leon Edwards if Leon Edwards keeps winning. And also, Kamaru Usman said fighting him is green panty night for Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal's definitely responding to that crazy comment. But I gotta say myself, green panty night. What are we doing? Cosplaying Poison Ivy, big dog? Green panty night? For one, you're still in the line from Conor McGregor, and you didn't put a good spin on it. It would have been better like if Dustin Poirier said like diamond panty night, because you're like taking it up a whole nother notch. But green panty night? Who's ever said, baby, break out the green panties? What? You ain't even selling that many pay-per-views either. It's more like period panty night fighting Kamaru Usman. I mean, what are you talking about? Who's paying to watch fucking Usman like that? It's a whole different. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. We're gonna dive into that. Look at Jorge Masvidal's response. Conor McGregor versus Poirier. That's coming up. They're agreeing to meet in the middle. Is Ryan Bader the best light heavyweight on the planet? Greg Hardy versus Tuivasa, and Kevin Holland, of course, going to be fighting tomorrow. Going to talk about that. Before we do that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up, and the notification bell. Don't be a baby back, bagel biting beta male, because you know what time it is. It is full-time MMA. When someone gets in here, I want to see if the chat's, if I'm sounding crazy on here. I'm actually going to pull that up now, test the stream. Let's go over here, youtube.com, and pull up full-time MMA and see what we are sounding like. Alright, if anyone can hear me in the chat, do me a favor and say aye. Let's see. Hit the thumbs up button as well. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're sounding good. We're sounding good. So let's get into the show. First things first, man. Demetrious Johnson getting kneed in the face, and this is it's interesting because not only did Demetrious Johnson get knocked out, which is very rare to see if you're a longtime UFC fan. Demetrious Johnson was so dominant for so long. I mean, just reigned in the flyweight division, almost like Amanda Nunes is now in the women's bantamweight and featherweight divisions. I mean, almost. Demetrious Johnson's reign was up there with Anderson Silva, and he was just untouchable for his time in the UFC. And even when he left, he still had, well, he lost a split decision to Henry Cejudo, but that was a split decision, and a lot of people thought DJ had even won that fight. So Demetrious Johnson was still on top of the game, essentially. He was going to fight Henry Cejudo one more time. We all would have loved to see that fight, but he went to one championship in a trade for Ben Askren. Now, over in one championship over in Asia, they have different rules. But hold on, where are my manners? Candle of the evening. This shit smells good. I don't know what it's called. It's a motherfucking Glade. It's Glade, dog. And you see how low that thing is? It's because I've been doing a whole lot of fucking. No, guys, I'm just kidding. But make sure you guys do hit that thumbs up button if you're in here. Demetrious Johnson, guys, over in one championship, they have different rules. In those rules, you can knee a grounded opponent over in one championship. So, Demetrious Johnson gets knocked out while he's on the ground in his most recent fight. He gets dropped first, but he was still in the fight. He was scrambling up, and on the way up, he got kneed directly in the fucking grill, and that shit took him out. He dropped. You seen his legs pretty much go limp, and the referee stopped the fight after 1 or 2 more shots of ground and pound. And so Demetrious Johnson lost, which is a very rare sight to see as an MMA fan. It shocked me. What? Demetrious Johnson knocked out? And then to see it was a knee while he was grounded, it really threw a monkey wrench into this whole thing. Because Demetrious Johnson, if he were still in the UFC's rules, he would not have lost that fight. He, in fact, would have won that fight. Demetrious Johnson would still be the champion. This shit gets interesting because Demetrious Johnson would still be the champion in the UFC, which is where he reigned, where he created his legacy, where he created the legacy of one of the greatest fighters of all time, pound for pound. He was a 125-pound fighter at the top of the pound for pound list because of what he was doing in the UFC. Now, if there were knees to a grounded opponent, would Demetrious Johnson have reigned that long? He could have easily lost one of these fights to, say, a John Dodson or a Henry Cejudo or a Joseph Benavidez or any of the real killers that have some explosiveness that Demetrious Johnson has fought. If there were different rules, he might have never became one of the pound-for-pound greats. And the only reason that this is relevant is because Demetrious Johnson himself came out, and when Aljamain Sterling got knocked out, or he didn't get knocked out fully, but when he got kneed while he was grounded, concussed, whatever you want to call it. Some people think it was an acting job. Whatever you want to say, when Aljamain Sterling was kneed while he was grounded, Demetrious Johnson is one of the guys that came out and critiqued him publicly. And honestly, I'm going to tell you, this is some bullshit from Demetrious Johnson just off the rip. Even before Demetrious Johnson ate this fucking knee, it was bullshit that he called out Aljamain Sterling. It was almost, I mean, I don't want to get too racial, political, whatever you want to call it, but I'm going to say he looked like a real fucking Uncle Tom. Because he traded on Aljamain Sterling, and I'm not even talking about black. I'm just saying as far as a fucking trader of the guys who had to work to get where they got. The guys that didn't get skipped ahead for politics, you know, the guys like Masvidal, the guys like Max Holloway, the guys like Kamaru Usman, the guys like Aljamain Sterling, the guys that have to win 10, 11 fights in a row, 9 fights in a row before they're given a title shot. Not the guys like Cody Garbrandt and Peter Yan who get to fight like 2 dudes and then get a title shot. No offense to them. I mean, they did their thing, but it's different. It's different whenever you have to fight 8 guys to get to the shot, or contender after contender after contender, when some guys get to fight someone unranked and then a number 10 guy and then they're in the title shot. Some people have, and it's in favorable matchups. Man, this shit gets deep. And so for Aljamain Sterling to be one of those guys that had to go through tough competition to get where he's at, he should have had the title shot before Peter Yan, to be honest. If we're talking about it, Aljamain Sterling he had been inactive because he was getting skipped over for the title shot, and there was nowhere for him to fight but up. So, being one of those guys, and the reason that that's important is, and why is politics not on their side? It's for one reason. It's because they're not a draw. They don't sell tickets. They don't have a country on their side, or they don't talk enough trash, and so they're not a draw. But that's the same. That's where Demetrious Johnson came from. That's where Demetrious Johnson was one of the best fighters of all, pound for pound, but he still didn't get Dana's grace because he wasn't a draw, or the UFC's grace. He had to earn his keep. He didn't get that. He talked about how he never got that big payday, and it's because he wasn't a draw. That's why Aljamain Sterling got looked over, because he wasn't a draw. So to come out and, you can support in silence. Like Dave Chappelle said, like, sometimes you support somebody by shutting up. Even if you think Aljamain Sterling's faking, It took him. It was really hard for him to even get to this title shot. DJ, you should know a little bit about that. So, just support him in silence. Don't come out and fucking say he was stalling and knees to a grounded opponent should be allowed. Because now look, you just got kneed in the grill. And according to you, this should have been allowed. So if it was allowed in the UFC, then Demetrious Johnson may have not been champion as long. His reign could have very well been ended earlier by any explosive fighter that landed a knee while he was down. Or when Demetrious Johnson kneed and knocked out, and it was karma, man. Karma came swiftly. 1 month after he said knees to a grounded opponent should be allowed, he was kneed in the face and knocked out. And it's the first time we've seen Demetrious Johnson knocked out in a long time. So it was definitely crazy to see. With that being said, one championship is now on TNT. So definitely going to be a lot more visible even over here in America. I'm not sure what time it came on, if it was a rebroadcast or whatnot, but also on that card, Eddie Alvarez fought and he was disqualified. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the next topic. We're going to actually, we'll talk about Eddie Alvarez. We'll keep it on one before we get into a couple other topics. Eddie Alvarez calls for one championship to reverse his disqualification loss. He says, what happened? It's not right. I won. If you didn't see it, Eddie Alvarez landed a few shots to the back of his opponent's head. They looked like they were on the side. His opponent was turning, giving his back exposing the back of his head to where it was like on where the side would be. So Eddie Alvarez could have thought he was punching the side of his head, but the way the guy was turning, it was actually hitting him in the back of the head. Now, being the organization where you allowed knees to a grounded opponent, that did seem a little close call. Eddie Alvarez, it did seem like they were on the side of the head, but the last couple were in the back, and they did get him good. So I could see the disqualification, but I would just think over in one championship, they would lean more toward the side of the head, considering they let people get kneed in the face while they're grounded. So Eddie Alvarez was disqualified. Demetrious Johnson was knocked out. UFC guys did not fare well on TNT at one championship. We're going to talk about Ronda Rousey getting a tattoo. This is my first thought when I saw Ronda Rousey getting a tattoo. This is a tattoo. I will put it on the screen. She is getting a tattoo of all these numbers you see. What are these numbers? These numbers are Ronda Rousey's wins. The time it took her to get these wins. I like it because Ronda Rousey, for sure, one of the greatest. I don't even know if you can call her one of the greatest female fighters of all time. I guess you can, because it really doesn't seem like, aside from Amanda Nunes, nobody has really been able to reign. I mean, you got Valentina Shevchenko, but Ronda Rousey was one of the most, that's a good word, she was one of the most dominant female fighters of all time. I mean, of course, you've got Amanda Nunes, and also as far as pushing the envelope, Ronda Rousey did miracles and wonders for WMMA. Now, with that being said, she also would be on the female Mount Rushmore of MMA. I think it would be Cyborg, Nunes, Rousey, and then you could either give it to Kat Zingano, or not Zingano. I mean Gina Carano or Joanna Jędrzejczyk. You could debate that one. Now, with that being said, this tattoo, it's a little delusional to me because it's not. It's lying by omission. She's leaving out the whole end of her career, which was like the defining moment of her career. Considering the way Ronda Rousey went out, I mean, she ascended so high. And then after she got knocked out by Holly Holm, just zero dark 30. Didn't talk to any fans. I see in the chat you said Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I would probably give it to Joanna. Yeah, the inaugural UFC strawweight champion, dominated, just beat girls down. I like Joanna. But Ronda Rousey, after she got knocked out by Holly Holm, zero dark 30. She didn't talk to a lot of media or fans, and then leading up to her Nunes fight, it was just she's back. I think she did like one Ellen interview or just a couple big time interviews, and then she really didn't speak much to the MMA media. Left a lot of the fans hanging and whatnot. So it wasn't very graceful, and then she got knocked out again and went to the WWE, which was a really defining moment of her career because she became known as that girl, sore loser, ran to the WWE, and it almost took away from her greatness because it looked like she got exposed. She never came back and showed that she still has it. It almost just looked like she got exposed and was a hype job. That's what it made it look like. And that's not the case with Ronda Rousey. It just didn't end well. So with that being said, when you get a tattoo of all your wins, it's like, it's almost like you're living in a la la land, which, if you think about it, modern women typically do live in a la la land. They generally are delusional. They generally do lie by omission. Ronda Rousey is approaching the wall. I could see her, definitely wanting to relive her glory days, if you know what I'm saying, because her glory days are gonna be behind her soon. I mean, and could you imagine like living with Ronda Rousey? She had to get with the fucking heavyweight that could check her ass every now and then because she would be a fucking nightmare. I mean, could you imagine just superpower ego? Fuck, I'm Ronda Rousey. Like you could see it in her from in her personality, just super egotistical. You can't tell me nothing. I do what I want. Like, and then will armbar your ass. Like she had to be with the fucking heavyweight UFC fighter. Like her pool of options had to be extremely small. And with that being said, like I said, just generally reliving her glory days, but leaving out a very important part of her career. She could have got like the numbers of her losses in red, you know, like it's, I I pulled up her losses, and Holly Holm, she lost 59 seconds into the second round. So, she could have got that in red. She had some pretty big numbers on her arm, and then 48 seconds, a red 48 for Amanda Nunes. And you got to put that shit in bold though, because that's Amanda Nunes. But either way, Ronda Rousey getting a tattoo of her wins, definitely leaving out the losses, which is like not very truthful. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gonna represent the losses nowhere in tattoos. You only tattooing the good. Smile now, never cry. No. All right, guys. A little fun with Ronda Rousey. But with that being said, Kamaru Usman. Oh, let's have some more fun with this fucking guy. Kamaru Usman saying that is fighting him is green panty night. What? Green panty night? You mean cotton period panty night, dog? Come on, Usman ain't selling no pay-per-views. Masvidal's selling all these pay-per-views. What do you? This is and you're taking Conor McGregor's whole red panty night and you're butchering it. Really, you're butchering it because, like I said in the beginning, what are you doing? Cosplaying Poison Ivy? Green panty night? You should at least switched it up. Green lingerie night? Like you cannot just epic fail on Kamaru Usman's part, because Masvidal is selling the pay-per-views too. So, yeah, Kamaru Usman. I mean, he is the champion. That's really the reason Masvidal is in it, because becoming the champion leads to pay-per-view points, leads to the M's, leads to what these fighters are really fighting after, the prize. It's not about really the belt, especially for a guy like Masvidal. I've seen a lot of people over in the Discord talking about how Masvidal's kind of selling out, and hey, he is. But guess what? I ain't even mad, because Masvidal is one of those guys, like I talked about earlier, like Demetrious Johnson, Aljamain Sterling, Max Holloway, Kamaru Usman, who didn't sell a lot of pay-per-views, so they had to grind. They had to win, until the UFC had no choice but to give them the title shot. And so, and then on top of that, when you're someone like even Masvidal on another level, when you come from the streets, when you don't, I mean, when you come from backyard fighting, when you come from your family fucking, you know, being immigrants or just having to work hard, not having that athlete lifestyle, when you have the fighter lifestyle and not the athlete lifestyle, when you grow up around the criminal element, you got to dodge that and stay out of jail and stay alive and avoid gang politics and avoid not having the money to really do what you need to do, and so you got to figure out how to get hustle in multiple ways, and you don't have the direction, and then you still get into the UFC. I mean, this dude was fighting in backyards. He easily could have just been in one of those. You know how many Jorge Masvidal's no cap that are probably didn't make it, that could have been in the UFC, but they're probably in fucking prison or something because they got, or they're working somewhere 9 to 5. They got a trade. Maybe they're trucking right now. Maybe they're, but they had hands, but they ended up getting like a felon. Like, there's a lot of guys, or like I said, even in prison or something. There's a lot of guys that could have been like Jorge Masvidal, but he managed to navigate through all of that, through the backyards, through Kimbo's backyard, through Bellator, through all these different fight promotions, made it to the UFC, getting robbed by Ally Quinta, still fighting up a weight class, still battling with the top contenders to ultimately make it fucking here. Do you know how much work Jorge Masvidal has put in? You don't. They don't. They don't. You might, but they don't. You do not know how much work, how much, um, how much it took for Masvidal to get to this point, which is why he's my favorite fighter. And I've been saying this for years before the fame and acclaim. Which hopefully someone in Masvidal's camp pointed that out to him, and that's why he's naming his shit like full-time fighter, to give me a little bit of shine. I can hope. But Masvidal, man, fucking deserves everything. I mean, and he has for a long time, and that's why I'm not mad at Masvidal if he sells out, because even more than the guys that just had to fight to get there, he was fighting for his life before he made it to the UFC, and he still made it. And that's why I respect him even more than a lot of these other guys. That's why him knocking out Ben Askren was so fucking big to me. Because that guy that had to navigate through all of that bullshit and still figured it out. Bad matchups. He was supposed to lose to Ben Askren, the welterweight wrestler that was supposed to just hold him down. Changed his whole narrative with that knee. And he wasn't supposed to be here. So Masvidal is the draw, because by landing that knee, it made the right people pay attention to his story to where he could not be denied any longer. That's why Masvidal's here. He could not be denied any longer. But they tried to deny him at every turn, but he's still here. And so, Kamaru Usman, you ain't bringing nothing to the table but that belt. Like most of these women out here, they don't even have a belt. Come on, man. Get them green panties the fuck out of here. Keep them green panties on. Fuck out my house. I'm about to go find somebody with some red panties. Masvidal responded as well. He's saying green panties equals yeast infections, you fucking dweeb. Green panty night. Masvidal responded on Twitter with some Vagisil. He said, Kamaru Usman, the swagger jacker, is back. Green panties, yeast infections. You're disgusting. Green panties means yeast infection for those who didn't know. Help out and new. Gotta get that pH balance right, ladies. What the fuck was he thinking? Green panty night? No, man. Conor McGregor also chimed in, he said, am I tripping? Is this jackass always at this? Everything I say. He's saying, this must not be the first thing Kamaru Usman has stolen from Conor McGregor. I wouldn't be surprised. He's not the most witty guy when it comes to trash talk, like McGregor, like Masvidal. Masvidal has always been so fucking underrated. I could fucking dedicate this. No, that's fucking homo. Pause. Man, y'all, Masvidal is the real deal. Anybody hating on Masvidal just don't understand what it takes, man. And a lot of people don't, because they didn't come from that. And that's something that I gotta even realize. Like, a lot of people aren't familiar with that life, that street life. They don't know the politics that you gotta navigate through to still try and be a fucking productive professional citizen, and still, like, you don't got safety nets, you don't got guidance, you don't got a lot of shit that a lot of stuff that a lot of people have. It's hard to, people don't understand navigating without that shit. So I respect Masvidal to the ultimate level, and I'm always gonna be riding with Masvidal, whether it's a good matchup, bad matchup, the toe stomper, a wrestler. I mean, I just always hope Masvidal wins, even as unrealistic, as unfavorable as the matchup may be. I'm hoping Masvidal takes this motherfucker's head off. Let's go. Speaking of taking somebody's head off, Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier agreeing to meet in the middle ahead of the UFC 264 bout. Conor McGregor daring Dustin Poirier to meet in the middle after Dustin Poirier said, "I'm going to meet you in the middle." Bubba G in the building saying Usman is the strongest and best chin at 170. Jorge highest IQ. I completely agree with everything you just said, brother, because Usman is the strongest, and he's got great cardio to go with it. Great wrestling, trains with some real killers. He doesn't have no slack jaw training camp. You know what I'm saying? He's over there fighting. He's still fighting with yeah, he's over there with Gilbert Burns and everybody. Was that the Black Zillions? I know he switched up a little bit because they were teammates and they were fighting, so he switched it up a little bit. But Kamaru Usman is the greatest welterweight right now, just because he's got it both. He's got the ultimate athleticism as well as the fighting. But Jorge Masvidal, as far as fight IQ and as far as heart, and this fight IQ, man, is way up there. But yeah, Masvidal, it's a lot to it. But as far as the fight percentages, it's probably 75% in the favor of Usman. But I gotta rock with my guy. Salute Full-Time MMA, says Robert Henry the Poet. What's going on, guys? Good to see you in the chat. Thank you guys for coming through. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Do your boy a solid. Don't be a baby back bagel bite beta male. We got a couple more things to talk about. The next one's actually going to be interesting, but let's continue. Let's check out these tweets from Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor came out and, let me take a sip of this motherfucking, I shouldn't even, fucking little shitty YouTube. I'm not give a fuck what I'm drinking. I'm drinking a Bang Energy. Y'all ever tried these things? Man, these flavors are fucking wild. Like, the flavor names are just psycho. Like, what the fuck am I about to be drinking? But they all taste amazing. Like, you accidentally get one, like Purple Kittles. What the fuck is a Purple Kittle? And this shit tastes like grape nerds. It's like, oh, this shit's delicious. And it's an energy drink. You ever had them strawberry cream savers? They're like peppermints, but they're not. That's what this shit tastes like. Bang smack, says Julian Tuo. Hey, they be getting me through there, man. I got a lady at work that she be buying them for me just because, I'll be putting it down at work, getting everything nice and ready. And, they respect the grind, respect the hustle, so they be hooking me up with the energy drinks. And she be buying me the Bangs. Trevor Whitman at Slack says, Usman training with Gaethje's team. Yeah, I couldn't think of their fight team name. Whitman and Gaethje, and it's not the Black Zillions because they kind of like disbanded. I can't think of their team name. Fucking slipping on my pen, but let me pull that up, man, because I really was trying to think of it. Usman Tapology. He used to train with the Black Zillions, but did they rename the Black Zillions? Is it gonna say on here? Okay, he trains in Florida. Did he train? No. So he trained a little bit. He trains down in Florida, man. But did he might have just went to Florida for the Burns fight. Let's see. Let's go to Gaethje, see if it pulls it up. I'll just look up Trevor Whitman fight team. Nate Marquardt, what the fuck? Grudge Training Center. He probably just works with them. These motherfuckers don't train in no grudge. I ain't heard of no goddamn grudge. Let's pull up Justin Gaethje fight team. Elevation and fucking Rose. Then she down there on T. Let's see. Black James became Sanford MMA, I believe. Okay, so is that who they're training with? He's training out of Colorado. Genesis Training Center, Elevation Fight Team. I thought he was on Elevation. Okay, maybe they just have some of the same coaches because I didn't remember Kamaru, Usman, and Rouse being on Elevation Fight Team, but I know they train with Gaethje at times. So they're just kind of all moving around and shit right now. But either way, man, he trains with Burns, Gaethje, and Whitman, and real deal killers, top fighters in the world. He ain't training with no fucking, security guards that signed up for the fucking MMA class. You know what I'm saying? He's training with some real deal killers down there. Now, Conor McGregor, double skills, double work. His double skills work. I also didn't take rest days unless I absolutely had to. Proper 12. Not one. Not even a Sunday. I'll take this approach again for my comeback fight. I didn't become the UFC champ with this method, but I did become the UFC 145-pound champion. Also the Cage Warrior champ. Okay, well, Conor McGregor motivated, coming in with the same strategy. Losing strategy. I don't give a damn if you train 4 times a week, 6 times a week, 7 times a week, 2 times a week. You better be training them leg checks. You better be getting out of boxing mindset and fucking start lifting up that leg, checking that fucking kick, because if not, this is gonna be a shit show. Conor McGregor, what are you gonna do? Land a fucking lucky punch or lose? Come on, man. I know you're better than that, dog. You can't go into deep waters. You ain't got no cardio, and now you can't fucking block leg kicks. What the fuck? Excuse my French. You're the champ. What? Nobody in Cage Warriors, Dennis Seaver, none of these guys. Okay, let me stop. Check the kicks. Get out the way. Or you're going to have to land a punch before your leg goes out. Come on, dog. You got to be better than that. Dustin Poirier responded and said, I never slack. I meet you in the middle of the octagon, July 10th. Dustin Poirier better not fall for Conor McGregor's antics and tactics and his cap. You know what I'm saying? Don't fight somebody's game because you get emotional. Don't meet him in the middle just because he's talking shit. Kick his leg off until he checks one. And do what you need to do to get the dub. Get the dub. Conor said, good to hear, Dustin. I hope so. Last time you backed up and shot inside the first 30 seconds. I'll be in the middle from the very go if you want it. You know that. I'll be ready for the taxes this time too, though. See you in there. Ooh, that got me ready for the fight. No cap. Hey, that got me ready for the fight. Conor McGregor, he sounded like he was like a shark almost, smelling blood, just like he's ready to battle. He said, I'll be in the middle from the very start. Last time you shot within 30 seconds. You know I'll be in the middle. Hey, you know where I'll be. You know I'm going to be in the middle. I'll be ready for the tactics this time, too. Oh, shit. Conor won that first round. He looked really good in that first round, by the way. Conor looked really good in that first round against the killer and Dustin Poirier. So I'm excited for the trilogy. I mean, and Conor got me excited right there reading that shit. I'm looking forward to it, man. Dustin Poirier, one of the greatest fighters of all time. I think he definitely cemented that with his last Conor fight. I mean, he's one of those guys exactly like Masvidal. He sort of had to navigate through the streets as well and kind of get it out the mud. Signed up with the UFC as a wee tot, like 18, 19 years old type shit professional fighter. Fighting killers, murderers, bro. Multiple weight classes now, and just still at the top of the game. I mean, just as skillful as it comes. Dustin Poirier, just the cream of the fucking crop. And love the fight, man. Love the fight. Now, speaking of cream of the crop, Ryan Bader is claiming he's the light heavyweight cream of the crop. I'm talking about all over the world, Craig. He said he's better than Jan Blachowicz. Daniel Cormier's retired. John Jones is a heavyweight. Guess who's the GOAT by default, baby? Beta, bitch. No. You can't argue with John Jones and with DC. I mean, now you can argue because Rumble's back. Rumble's back. Hey, Rumble Johnson's back, and he's over there in Bellator. He's got a win over Ryan Bader, so he might have something to say about that. But other than that, when you just want to compare Bellator to UFC, you could definitely argue that Bader could beat Jan Blachowicz. You could definitely argue Bader can beat Glover Teixeira if he hasn't already. The top two guys at light heavyweight in the UFC right now would arguably lose to Ryan Bader. Yeah. Bellator might have the best light heavyweight on the planet. They might have the two of them. Rumble Johnson. Yeah. He's like 37 years old, but he's got a win over Ryan Bader, who's arguably the greatest light heavyweight on the planet right now. He's got a point. Bellator has a light heavyweight Grand Prix, and it's actually going down tonight. Ryan Bader versus Lyoto Machida in the opening round. Bader's about a 3-1 favorite. There's a couple other fights on the card, but it's my brother's birthday right now. He gets off work in a couple of hours, so I don't think I'm going to be able to catch it. Probably going to go over there, sip a little bit of Henny and Bang, if you know what I'm saying. And I got to work tonight. I worked this morning. I worked both jobs yesterday. I hit the motherfucking gym yesterday. I'm doing YouTube today. I'm on my motherfucking path and purpose. Grinding. You know what I'm saying? Hope you guys are doing the same out there. Grinding. Living life, man. Not dating any single mothers. I hope none of the full-time family. Group hug. I mean, not group hug. Pause. Huddle up. Y'all better not be out there dating no motherfucking single mothers. Yo, I really want to tone down the language. Like, the cuss words. But I'm going to work on that because as I build the studio up, like, I'm really about to be investing in this shit. I'm looking at a place tomorrow, and if I don't get this place, I'm probably going to get a roommate and just save up some money. But either way, I'm going to have my YouTube studio. I want a soundboard, a green screen. I want the sound buttons and the fucking good microphone and the headphones and the whole shebang is what we're going to be working on. Make sure you guys hit thumbs up if you want to see. Also, I'm going to be dropping a few videos coming up talking about women, and men, intersexual dynamics, how men can level up business, how simple it is to start a business compared to being an employee and the freedom you get with that. That's something that a lot of people might be interested in, but I think there's going to be a little bit more interest in the intersexual dynamics between men and women and how delusional these freaking women are out here. I mean, all the way from the 1s to the 2s to the 4s that think they're 9s, aka the 49ers, all the way up to the 6s, and all of them just completely delusional for the streets. For the streets. And the reason I want to put a couple videos out like that, somebody said maybe I should do that on a separate channel, but we have the exact same audience. That conversation is for men. It's men who watch this channel. There's a couple ladies, but 98% of you guys are men. And so, honestly, from the videos I've dropped, it's got a much better reception. Those videos get more views, and those videos also get more thumbs up. So if you want to see MMA content, you guys got to hit thumbs up and comment on these videos. And if not, I'll know from the thumbs up and the views what you guys want to hear. I'll probably do both, but you know, a lot of people seem to receive those as well. Slacker said, I definitely would be interested in the business and female nature videos. Yeah, man, and there's a lot of stuff we can react to. We can talk about simping, pimping, game, staying away from them, divorce, single mothers. I mean, there's a lot of ways to go, and it's very helpful, critical, valuable information. It's not just, you're a single mother. No, this is saving men. This shit saved me. This shit's got me living a completely different life, way better. You gotta learn how to focus on yourself, dude. It might sound selfish, but as a man, no one's got your back but you. You don't have all these fucking safety nets and simps and all these people that'll just give you free money and shelters that'll just take you in because you gotta grind. You got yourself out here, and that's why. And then if you get a woman, she needs to be helping you. She has to be on your plan so you can focus on your path and purpose and get where you need to be in the future, or you're gonna be down bad out here, miserable. And you don't have to be miserable. You can live your best life for real if you avoid getting married, avoid having kids until you're ready, avoid single mothers. There's secrets, there's cheat codes out here to get you to where you need to be in record time, and then living your best life. Hey, but we got a couple more, two more things to talk about. Two more things to talk about before we get out of here. Make sure if you haven't yet, you hit the thumbs up button, the subscribe button, and hey, full-time family, lurkers, I'm gonna start talking to you guys directly. Slacker, Bubba G, Julian 209, and every one of you lurking. The people playing it back just lurking. Y'all gotta hit the notification bell, because I see the stats. We got like 9 to 15% people hitting the notification bell right now, and that's on the MMA content. Clearly, y'all don't want to hear about that shit with those numbers. So hit the notification bell, thumbs up. That shit really tells you what it's a real-time audit. It tells you what people want to hear. I'm gonna start doing little tests. I'm gonna talk about some bullshit. Ben Askren, Jake Paul, Conor McGregor, Masvidal. Like, I'm just gonna put big names in the title. I'm gonna put hardcore shit in the title. Kevin Holland, Bader, Greg Hardy versus Tuivasa. I'm gonna put that in the title. I'm gonna see how those videos do. Then I'm gonna do some talking about some men and women shit. I'm gonna see how those videos do. So how y'all react, how the people react, that's how I'm gonna know. I mean, I got 400 subscribers just off one video talking about the other shit. It went kind of viral, but at the same time, there was a very good reception as far as the thumbs up ratio, the comments, and everything. There was a lot of good feedback on that. So it doesn't happen on the MMA content. I mean, I'm just here, yeah. I'm just giving you the stats, guys. I'm just giving you the stats. Greg Hardy, former Carolina Panther and Dallas Cowgirl, versus Tai Tuivasa, Australia's favorite son, Mark Hunt's protege. Is that too far? That's pretty much what he is, right? He's the fucking heavyweight Hawaiian, 50-50 record, comes out slugging, except for this motherfucker's down to drink out of your shoe. Tai Tuivasa, Tai Shui Vasa. Hey, see what I did there? Tui Shui Vasa. I gotta make like an MMA song for this just because Tui and Shui like rhyme. Like, and now I gotta make a whole song. But they're clashing. I'm excited about this fight. I love it. I mean, both of these guys are, um, they're like train wrecks, essentially. They're both very entertaining, but neither one of them are title material, championship material. But they're both entertaining. Very. Greg Hardy, he's like a Ngannou that was in the NFL instead of in the African sand mines. So he's got worse cardio and, less discipline. But he's still a fucking beast. He's still 265, swinging bombs and hammers and athletic as hell. And he's going to be taking on a heavy hitter, Tuivasa, who's got probably a little more technical skills. But, I mean, it's a decent matchup for Greg Hardy. But, I mean, it's a good matchup. And it's at UFC 264, the same card as McGregor and Poirier. So there's going to be a lot of eyes on this fight. You'll have Australia watching, New Zealand. You're going to have NFL fans and fandom watching. You're going to have all the McGregor fans and Poirier trilogy. Come on. Everyone's going to be watching UFC 264. Kevin Holland's going to be fighting Marvin Vettori tomorrow. It's going to be his second fight in less than a month. Second fight in like 3 weeks. He just lost to Derek Brunson, stepped right in to replace Darren Till. And he's taking a shot at the fair weather critics in route to this. And I'm not a fair weather Kevin Holland fan. I fucking hate the guy. I'm just kidding. I fucking love Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's one of my favorite fighters already. Call him Big Mouth, call him Trailblazer, call him Kevin Holland. I don't give a damn what you call him. He's the real deal. And I made a video about him being the real deal a couple years ago before the Jacare fight because I seen it in him. I seen the Masvidal in him. I seen the Dustin Poirier in him. I see the Max Holloway in him. This dude just loves to fucking game. The Sean O'Malley, he just loves to fight. They just fucking love this shit. I probably shouldn't have put my guy up in that category yet, Sugar, because I haven't necessarily been able to see him just step up and take those short notice fights yet, but he's still young in his career, and he's my fucking guy. But it's just a different, he's a guy that has the fans, and it's his own doing, because he's doing everything right. So you can't blame him for it, because he's doing literally everything right, and he doesn't even have a manager. Sean O'Malley is playing the shit perfectly. But with that being said, with his business acumen, it tends to give him some grace with the UFC, so that plays into him. But that's his doing. That's not something he just lucked into. He did all of that himself. So Sean O'Malley's in a different category, but Kevin Holland is one of those guys. He doesn't have a million billion fans yet, but he's got a fighter's heart, a fighter's spirit, a fighter's acumen. Just loves to do this shit. Short notice, long notice, medium, it don't matter the opponent, tough, hard, legend, contender, easy matchup. Kevin Holland don't care. Give him a fight and watch him sign up for it. This is cowboy shit. This is anyone, anywhere, any place, anytime, any size, anything, any week, any year, any month, any second, any minute, any fucking bi-weekly. I'm just saying, this motherfucker's ready to go. He will fight your grandmother if she disrespects. I fucking love Kevin Holland. And it's only if she disrespects. He's not just a grandmother basher, but he will fight anybody. Kevin Holland is the real fucking deal. CFR Network said good night, CFR Network. This is our last topic, brother. Thank you for coming through. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button on your way out. Have a good night and a good weekend. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'm going to be trying to stream the fights for last weekend. It did not work very well. But yeah, people who don't like Kevin Holland are the same people that don't like Aljamain Sterling. They're the same people that don't like Tyron Woodley. They're the same people that don't like John Jones. They're the same people that don't like Kevin Lee. What do all of those guys have in fucking common? I don't give a fuck what you guys say. There are shades of fucking There's so much shades of racial bias when it comes to MMA fandom. I don't give a fuck what you guys say. You don't have to like it. It's true. I love a lot of these guys. They're not all the same, and they all have to fucking work extra hard for everyone's approval. They can be the greatest fighter of all time. They can be someone exactly like Cowboy. They can be somebody that's defending their champion smartly. They can be somebody that fights contender after contender. It don't matter. The fans are going to find a reason to fucking hate these guys. Get the fuck out of here. And people don't like when I say that. But it's the truth. Ngannou's getting the benefit of the doubt, but it's because he's scary. Oh, he's so scary. Big, scary Ngannou, right? It's not even that people like him. They're scared of him. That's all that is. They're fucking scared of him. Nobody's walking around talking about, man, fucking, I really just love Ngannou. He's such a good guy, even though he is. He's a fucking sweetheart. No, people are scared of Ngannou. He's a great person. Very nice, very friendly, sweetheart. But he's still feared. What the fuck do you guys want me to say? It's not racism, I get it. But people, don't matter who you are, you can be Mexican, Asian, white, black, or motherfucking purple. You're going to be biased toward the other purple people. When I grew up, I'm biracial. I grew up, my grandma was white, and she had like 3 daughters and sisters, and that family had fucking jungle fever. I've got Mexican cousins, Asian cousins, black cousins, white cousins, all of it in my family. I'm close to all these people. I grew up in a Mexican neighborhood, but I'm half black and half white. But I got Asian homies that I played video games with and Asian cousins that I used to eat the rice and the homemade fucking egg rolls, all that shit. I know it all. And guess what? Guess the common theme. When I'm with my Mexican cousins and we're watching boxing, they're rooting for Oscar De La Hoya, not fucking Anthony Joshua. Or they're rooting for fucking their own. When I'm watching boxing with my black family and we're playing dominoes, guess who they're fucking rooting for? Their own. A lot of white people got the same shit. They can be some fucking weirdo like Ben Askren, and they're going to root for him over someone that's actually earned it. And I'm not even saying Ben Askren like that. That's just, I was anti-Ben Askren because I was so in favor of Masvidal. But you get what I'm saying. People root for their own. I mean, it is what it is. It's not racism. So that's not what I'm saying. But a majority of UFC fans have always been, the UFC was not for our kind, is essentially because growing up in the black community, there's a lot of what you would say homophobia. So when you see these dudes wrestling on fucking screen, we look at that like, no, we box, you guys wrestle. You can put your dicks all in each other's faces if you want and do all the triangle chokes you want. But we're going to throw these hands. It was just a whole completely different clash of culture. And what that led to is a lack of black MMA fans. That's why there's a lack of black MMA dollars. That's why there's a lack of black MMA promotion. Because the money's not there. The fans don't want to see it. The people do not support that. It's got to do with a lot of the homophobia in the community. But hey, it is what it is. The money's not there. But that don't mean someone like me, who does enjoy the shit, can't come and call it what the fuck I'm seeing. Half of these motherfuckers look racist when they're talking this bullshit. And whenever I see, no matter what these guys can't do, they get a negative label. That's some negative bullshit on them. Boring. Doesn't sell, not a draw. Big mouth, fucking scary. It is what it is. And people can thumbs down if they don't like that, and they can put that thumb, take that thumb, shove it right up their motherfucking candy ass. And then they can smell what their mama was cooking, because they probably was living at home with their mom fucking, and she's still making dino nuggets for them. You know what the fuck I'm saying? Single mother, now they're the son husband. Yeah, you, motherfucker. We are tribal. Yes, we're tribal. It's not fucking racism. Nobody wants these people to fucking die, or nobody wants these people to not have fucking rights. They're just rooting for their own, and it's that fucking simple, man. And now, with that being said, politics isn't always on their side, which is why someone like Demetrious Johnson shouldn't be fucking saying nothing when Aljamain Sterling is faking for his title, if that's what he's doing. DJ, zip it. What the fuck are you calling him out for? Zip it. You already went through this. And that's why you had to go through not having the people on your side. Eat that fucking knee. Boyow! Eat that. Eat that fucking shit up. Sleeping. What do you call a knee to a grounded opponent? A mousetrap. Ding! They need to start calling that the mousetrap. Knee to a grounded opponent. He just fucking mousetrapped him. Fuck out of here. And with that being said, I think that was a good way to end the show. I think that's a good conversation. That's something that, you know, I've kind of refrained from talking about in the past because I needed the support. Kind of like Aljamain and Tyron Woodley. You can't talk about black issues in MMA and expect your videos to not get thumbed down because it's shit that people don't want to hear. And that's not what I plan on doing. It's just in the past I kind of silenced myself because I fucking wanted MMA fans to help support me. So I kind of had to sell out. I don't need no fucking support anymore. I got a pretty good job. They don't like me because I'm unapologetically motherfucking masculine and I stand up for myself and I don't just fucking take orders. Especially when they don't make sense. I question shit. So that puts me on the outs. Would they rather me be gone because I ask questions? Yeah. But I got a union, so they can't just fire me. They got to find a good reason. But while I still got that good job and I started a fucking business, I don't need no support from no donations and none of that shit. I can just talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to tell you motherfuckers, you fair weather Holland fans are not racially biased towards him. You ain't racist, but you probably didn't like Tyron Woodley, and you probably don't like John Jones, and you probably didn't like DC. You didn't like John Jones or DC. You just didn't care who won that fight. You know, you probably don't like Usman that much. It just is what it is. You probably didn't like Kevin Lee. You probably don't like Michael Johnson. Who do you like? You probably don't like Josh Koshcheck. You probably didn't really care for Rumble. Oh shit! You probably didn't like Demetrious Johnson. You probably don't like Angela Hill. For real. It's just something, right? There's just some reason you can't quite put your thumb on it, but you just don't like them. Oh shit! You'll watch Derek Lewis versus Ngannou though. No matter how boring the first fight was, you want to see that rematch, don't you? Oh, let's see these motherfuckers. Maybe they're gonna fucking punch this time. You probably don't like Anthony Joshua. You probably don't like Greg Hardy. You probably don't like Curtis Blades. But you probably gave Conor McGregor a pass, Colby Covington a pass. You probably like Khabib's wrestling. You probably don't mind Cody Garbrandt bullshit. You probably, you know, love Cowboy and don't like Kevin Holland. You probably were completely fine with GSP's wrestling. But you probably didn't like Anderson Silva that much either. You probably weren't a huge fan of Silva. Nah. Am I fucking speaking something? Am I right here, guys? I'm fucking hitting them where it hurts. Hey, you probably don't like it. You probably fucking, oh shit. You probably fucking liked Stipe even though he was inactive and didn't talk much and fucking Boomhauer. You probably see, oh man, he's just a stand-up guy. Probably didn't mind that he was inactive or that Khabib was super inactive or Conor super inactive. But you probably like Ben Askren, but you probably don't like Masvidal very much. That's probably you. Like I said, it's not a fucking black and a white thing because Anderson Silva's not black, even though if you looked at him from afar away, you might think so. My dad thought he was black when he first seen him, and my dad is black. He was like, that's a brother. But you probably don't like Amanda Nunes that much. You probably like Valentina Shevchenko, fucking love her. You probably like Rose fucking Namajunas a lot. You probably fucking hate, you know, John Dodson. You probably didn't like John Dodson. You probably... Let's go. Fuck out of here, man. We talking about it. We talking about it today. Who says, Edgar Camilo says, wow, super truth you're talking. Full-time MMA. UFC did Tyron Woodley wrong. Speaking of doing Tyron Woodley wrong, you probably didn't like Rashad. Only Rampage is the one motherfucker y'all probably gave a chance, and that's because he came out, oh, with the fucking chain on and played the fucking prisoner role and talked fucking crazy. He played out to your stereotype, and, you know, he still... Rampage is the one, you know, he was the token one you gave a pass because he acted an ass and fucking had the beef with Chael Sonnen and fucking, oh, I loved Rampage too, but that's probably the one that I can say everybody liked. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is real shit.
I'm cold as a lion with no hair. If you ever see me fighting in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear!
Woo, that shit was loud. Help the bear! It says they love Kobe, though. Let's pull up the chat. Who would have knew? You start speaking the fucking truth, and they fucking, the super chat start dropping. Hey, man, I'm gonna have to do this more often. It's the facts, though. It's the truth. Fuck it, man. Like I said, I don't gotta try and do what I think is politically correct anymore. It's a good feeling, and that's why they don't want people to be independent and own businesses and support themselves. That's why they want you to date single mothers. That's why they want you to be paying alimony. That's why they fucking want you to get dragged through divorce court and have to pay divorce attorneys. That's why they want you to have to pay all this fucking child support and all these fucking taxes to all these fucking little stimulus crumb crunchers. Because they don't want you to be financially independent to where you can tell the fucking truth about these UFC motherfuckers. That's what it's all about. They don't want us to know the truth about the UFC. No, it's not the UFC, but you get it. It's the facts, man. Whenever you don't have to rely on being politically correct, you can speak the truth. I mean, it used to be times where I would say shit like that and you get thumbs down. I haven't even looked at the thumbs up or thumbs down on this video. But I would get a thumbs down or somebody would comment and be like, man, it's not true. Fucking you race baiting. And it's like, damn, man, I'm gonna piss off the predominant MMA fans. You know, I know that 80% of them don't want to hear the truth, and the UFC don't want you to say the truth. So if I ever want to chance it, if I ever want to be big time or support myself financially, then I better be politically correct. Now it's like, nah. And like I said, it's not racism in the sense of they want these people fucking burned at the stake. No, but you root for your own. If you're Brazilian, you die hard for the Brazilians. Va, Muawer, Amanda Nunes, Jose Aldo, all of them. Fucking, you're dying for them. Anderson Silva. If you're from China, you fucking love Wei Li Shang. I mean, you love Derek Lewis. Why Derek Lewis? No. You fucking love Kenan Song and Song Yadong, and you love them. If you're white, you love Colby and Askren and saltine fucking crackers and no sugar in your fucking Kool-Aid, man. This shit is, you root for your own. No, okay, wait, what? No, you root for your own. You're rooting for Tyson Fury. If you know what I'm saying? You got to be super contrarian to be that white dude that's rooting for Anthony Joshua. You got that white guilt up in you. But deep inside, you're hoping to see you, because you want to see yourself being able to conquer. And so you root for the person that looks like you. Do you hate the other person? Fucking no. But let's call it what it is. Toby Johnson said, keep telling the truth. Ngannou is king. Speak facts, get paid. Hey, I'm speaking the truth. I got shadow banned anyway. Because I would like try and refrain from telling the truth, but it still slips out because it's like, God damn it, I know the truth. God damn, how do I do this? So I still told enough truth to get shadow banned. Fuck it, let's go full truth. And see, me being biracial, it allows you to be, what's the word? Unbiased. Being biracial allows you to be unbiased. And then on top of my background with the Mexican neighborhood and the Mexican family and the Mexican schools and the Asian cousins and the Asian homies and I can really kind of be unbiased like a chameleon. But I still don't turn a blind eye to all these motherfuckers hating Woodley and Holland and every single fucking black fighter you got something negative to say about, and the only one everyone can unanimously agree to like is Rampage. It's the only one. Everybody else is, there's something about him. It's something. I can't quite put my thumb on it. Yes, you can. Just got out of YouTube jail, said CFR network. Yeah. What are we gonna do about the censorship and the? I mean, that's why I still want to limit my cursing, but I mean, I can just speak my opinion. I don't. I mean, hopefully I don't get put in no YouTube jail, or I don't get fucking Alex Jonesed and thrown off of this whole platform. Hopefully I don't do nothing that crazy just by speaking unpopular truths. But I wouldn't be surprised. Buck fighting, he said, shh. Uh-oh. That must have been what you talked about. Hey, I almost dropped the fucking word. We all seen Django Unchained. Don't think I don't know why you motherfuckers really want to see Francis Ngannou and Derek Lewis. Don't think I don't really fucking know. It's not because the first fight was a fucking bang-on slugfest. We know exactly why motherfuckers want to see Curtis Blades versus Ngannou. Fuck out of here, dog. Now, if you go down that path, you might end up in YouTube jail. You might. But I think we all can put two and two together and figure that one out. Whoo! We got deep at the end of this video. deeper than a single mother. See what I did there? With that, fire, Oh, I need the sound button, guys. I need the sound buttons. We need the screens. I need the scenes. I want to invest in this shit, guys. This is my third hustle. Like I said, it's my brother's birthday. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thank you guys for coming through. UFC 260 reaction videos were priceless. They were almost crying. Mine? The Tyron Woodley and ones. I don't know. If you're talking about mine, I appreciate it. If not, maybe it's other people. Maybe it was like there was people reacting. Who fought at UFC 260? I'm about to get out of here, though, guys. UFC 260. My number one rule, if you want respect, give it to yourself. And if everyone did, we would all be the same. And that's something, man, I really didn't understand. I never respected myself growing up. I didn't see men respecting themselves. I didn't see men respecting my mother who raised me. I didn't have that. And that's what I'm learning now with a lot of this, I'm going to say it, red pill content. I'm learning how to not feel guilty for putting myself first. I've always been a supportive person and paid attention to other people, other people's needs, thinking that would make them reciprocate. And no, everyone's out for themselves, essentially. You've got to be out for yourself or nobody else will. And once you are out for yourself, other people will probably follow along. Even your woman. Your woman wants you to lead. But a lot of us didn't realize our leadership position. And so we don't know who's leading what. We don't, whenever they say, what do you want to eat? I don't know, what do you want to eat? No, motherfucker, pick something. I'm learning still. I need to pick that shit. Where do I want to go eat? You can pick something off the menu. This is not a fucking duo decision where we have to fucking debate every time we want something to eat. I need to figure out what do I want to eat? That's what's important. What do I want to do next to get to the next step? What do I want to do next in the gym? What can I do for me? Might sound selfish or whatever you want, but I still have empathy for everyone else. It's not narcissistic. There's a difference between selfishness and narcissism. You have to learn how to be selfish. I never understood that, but 100%, man. You got to learn how to respect yourself. Dan Boone, you're 100% correct. Toby Johnson says reaction to Stipe KO. Oh, the reaction to Stipe's knockout. They were crying. He said, full time the reaction vid Stipe getting KO'd. Okay, I see what you're saying. Oh, they were crying. Yo, my fucking guy Toby. I fucking bet. Why? What the fuck did Stipe do to? He didn't do a bunch of media. He was inactive. He was just a fucking white dude that went to work and came and fought. And is that it? It wasn't very fucking entertaining if you used to watch the WWE. Dango, yeah, I'm just here. I'm just gonna work. Okay, you're great, bro. Can you fucking fight more often, dog? The inactivity, I don't like the inactivity a lot of the times, because I get it, though, when you're a superstar, and a lot of times when they're inactive, they're on media tours and they're spending their money. But personally, I like active fighters. That's why I like Kevin Holland and these guys that are willing to step up and step in and do what they need to do when they need to do it. But yeah, that is hilarious. He said they were crying when Stipe got KO'd. I picked Stipe to fucking lose that second fight. But yeah, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. And with that being said, guys, I'm actually going to get out of here this time. Thank you for coming through. Hit the thumbs up. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. Chat rate, too. Okay, we got a chat rate. Yeah, we're going to have to start. Man, we're going to start getting it popping on this YouTube shit, y'all. We're going to be talking about everything from, you get it. With that being said, let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out. Hit the notification bell. I see the numbers. See you later.